welcome to the aftermath of the first day of DJing at the whole fair upon the waltzers, and what an experience! It's truly amazing. It's like something completely different. Getting the opportunity to DJ on there. What can I say? Absolutely loved every second of it, and they just, I don't know, like their ride is just like a rave. Literally, the lights are going off like a rave, and the whole thing, like from the outside, just looks like you just stood outside and you're looking into this nightclub. You're looking into this big, almost like rave, just all these lights going off, and it's just so energetic, and it has got to be honestly the best, like the best sort of ride at the fair, for like the music and for like the lighting and the visuals. And I don't know, they just seem to get it right, and they just seem to always have it really rocking. And there always seems to be people just around that ride. It's just got that vibe that, because of all the lights and everything going off, it just attracts people. And it's just an absolutely amazing like experience, to be a part of. It's definitely something that I will look back on in my life, and my music career, and I'll be like, do you know what, like getting that chance all them years ago to DJ on them waltzers is obviously, it's such an amazing feeling. So yeah, so day one was really good. Day one was just amazing. So I got there about 5 o'clock. I was sort of told to get there for about 6 o'clock, but I just thought, I don't know, I was in that sort of like mood where I was excited about doing the waltzes and stuff like that. And I just kind of like, I'd done everything I needed to do at home, like to get the tunes ready, and I just kind of thought, like, do you know what, um, I just thought, sitting here, like it's just, I'm getting bored. I'm just ready to go. So I just thought, well, I'm gonna have a walk there anyway, and I'm just gonna have a walk round, and obviously like just have a little bit of a look at the fair as well, because it's the biggest, it's like the biggest fair in the UK, so it's always quite interesting. Just have a walk around, and um, it's always interesting just to see like what different things are happening, and stuff like that. So I had a little bit of a walk around, and then I wasted no time in going over to the Evans's Waltzers, and started off playing some bounce tunes, and really enjoyed it. The first couple of mixes, I ain't gonna lie to you, there was absolutely shocking. There was absolutely terrible. Like you would think I wouldn't even know how to DJ. Like that's how bad they were. But there was it was a bit of a different mixer. It's one I've never used before anyway. And we were just trying to, like, we couldn't get the headphones set up right, and we had it so like only one side of the headphone was working, and then it was like really hard to hear, like to beat match the next beat. So it was like, you couldn't really tell if it was in, and then like you was kind of having to bring the track up, so you could hear it louder in the actual main waltzer itself, to sort of be able to hear to beat match. So my first couple of mixes were absolutely all over the place, and then it was like I sorted the headphones out, and I managed to get the sound in the headphones to work. Big shout to the PlayStation gamer. So once I got them working, like it became a little bit better from there on, and it was just a real fun sort of enjoyment. So the way the waltzers work, or the way we work, is we do like half an hour each, and we kind of do it on rotation. So there's like a few of us. So there's kind of like, sometimes there's like 3 or 4 of us, sometimes there's maybe only like 2 of us. So we kind of do like half an hour each. And then like we sort of just go through some different genres throughout the night. So tonight we sort of started with the bounce, and then there was like reverse bass, and then there was like hardcore, there was early hardstyle, and then we finished off actually just playing a techno CD. I didn't have any techno on the stick, so they put like a techno CD on, and got the techno banging, and then we sort of left a little bit after that point because they'd gone back to just putting the CD on. But I'm gonna hunt and get some techno because I actually really enjoyed like listening to it on the ride. And I thought, like, do you know what? I actually really would love to mix some of this stuff. It sounded really banging, and it was I don't know what CD he had on, but it was like there was loads of really good like piano tunes, but then they went into like techno drops, and the drops were like quite heavy as well. It was like a heavy techno drop, and it just sounded like, do you know what? Like, I actually liked it. I thought, you know what? This actually sounds banging, and I was kind of enjoying just listening to that CD. And supplying the tunes from that CD. It was a really fun sort of experience, and like I say, the techno tunes were actually banging. So we went through like loads of genres, and I even ended up mixing some hardstyle tonight, which I don't normally do it often. Like, I do love hardstyle, and I do love my reverse bass, but I just don't, for whatever reason, I don't tend to like mix it much. But when I like hear it in a nightclub, or if I hear it anywhere else, like, I always enjoy listening, to like a reverse bass set. Like, I always enjoy it. So, do you know what I mean? It's always an enjoyable vibe, and yeah, it was really good. So when I played the bounce, when I sort of come, when I come to my last track, and I was gonna obviously, pass it back over to the next person, I decided that it was time to finish upon my remix of High Hopes, and I just want to say that was like the biggest buzz ever. I heard that tune on their system in the waltzers, and it sounded banging. It sounded absolutely like it sounded shit hot. It was, honestly, it was a buzz. So like, I put the tune on, and I mixed the tune in, and then I passed it over, and then I stepped out of the booth in the middle, but I couldn't exit the ride because it was spinning round. So I was stood like in the middle section just outside the booth, where you could like properly hear the tunes going off, and obviously you could really hear it, and like I heard it like come in on the drop, and it was wicked. And then I saw like people that they were stood in the queue, and they was waiting to go on the ride, and because they obviously recognised it was High Hopes, they was obviously singing it as well, and it just lit up. Like, I know, like, to them stood in that crowd, like, waiting to go on the ride, and the people pushing the ride, they don't have a clue that I've remixed that track. And the guy who's running the ride, he doesn't know it was my remix of the track. And in all fairness, he doesn't give a shit whether it's my remix or not. It sounds banging. They like it on the ride. They aren't bothered who's done it. And like I say, people riding round it, they don't really care that it's on. Monday I will be there, but I'll be there like later on, so I don't really too much know what's going to happen with Monday, because I won't be able to get there till just after 8, and Monday night it might not be like the busiest night of the fair, so there might not be like too much point to it. Like, I'll see what the vibe is when I get there, but I might not get chance to go on, or something. It depends how it is. Tuesday we've got the Gig Buddies gig, so I won't be there because that's till 9 o'clock, and I've got to I'm taking the RX for that, so I'll be like taxiing and carrying, and then by the time I get home, it'll be like going up for 10 o'clock, and the fair shuts at 11, so there'd be no point going. And then Wednesday, I will probably be back there. Wednesday's a free day for me. I'll be back there after work. I'll be going back there, and I'll be doing a full night there. Thursday, I'm in the music studio, so I won't be there. The music studio's like on Beverly Road, so that finishes about 8. So probably by the time I've walked home, and then like grabbed a bag and a USB stick, and then walked to the fair, it's just gonna be getting on again as time. And then Friday is a free day, so I'll be back there on Friday. And Saturday is the final night, so I'll probably be there on Saturday as well, just to see it off for the final night. And then obviously Sunday it'll be gone. They'll have packed down, and they'll have obviously finished, and they won't be there no more. It's mad because when they finish on the last night, like they actually start packing down that night. Like, they start, like, I don't think they fully pack down, but they start taking a few, like, just bits down that are like easy to take down. So like they just disconnect a couple of like little lights and things, and and they just start like sort of doing some of the basic stuff. And then like some of them actually pack, some of them actually fully packed down, like some of the little rides, they're fully packed down, and they boom, they're off and away, on the on the road, because some of them go to other fairs as well. So they get off, and they get on the road, and get sort of to where they're going to be next, and they get set up for camping, in the caravan and stuff. And yeah, it's mad. It's crazy. So yeah, so day one was a vibe. Like I say, really enjoyed dropping my remix of High Hopes. It was a banger, and like I say, people were singing to it, so that was good enough for me. And I just wanted to see what it sounded like, because that first drop, it's a nice first drop on it actually, and it sounds nice, quite heavy, and I liked the vibe of it. It gave off a good vibe. It gave off a really good vibe actually. So it was all good. So yeah, so that's obviously day one of the whole fair for me. I mean, it started yesterday, but I was at an event last night, and yesterday it wasn't the best day for me yesterday because I had a tooth out, and to be fair, having the tooth out, like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, they dosed me up with plenty of anaesthetic, and they pulled the tooth out. But a couple of hours after, probably like going up for like 6 o'clock, I was starting to get a bit of pain. When the anaesthetic wore off, and I took some like painkillers, and it sort of like it eased it off for a bit, and then I got sort of like a couple of hours into the event, and the pain started probably about sort of like sort of 11 o'clock at night, and I had like no painkillers on me, and I had to sort of like soldier through the event. Sort of like, in quite bad pain actually. It was getting quite annoying, to the point at times I didn't know where to put myself. But I'd obviously gone with the layman, and he was working, so I couldn't say like, I need, I don't feel well, I need to come home. Do you know what I mean? He was booked to do an event, so I kind of had no choice but to soldier through. And then when we left the event, I picked up a bottle of water and some paracetamols from a petrol garage, and took them, and it seemed to ease it off. So um, it was enjoyable in that sense. Once it eased off, and had a bit of supper, and got home, and then when I woke up, it was sort of aching again a bit, so I took some paracetamol. Well, I took some anodine, and that sort of eased it off a bit. for most of the day, and then it sort of tonight it sort of come back on again, and then I've just had some more like anodine again when I got back in, so it sort of eased it off a little bit now. So we'll just see how it goes, but yeah, it was like I say again, the fair was a really sort of enjoyable vibe. So thank you to to the Walsers for having me on again. And they're always they always like having DJs on and stuff like that, and they're always asking like they said to me, "Am I back again on Monday?" And I thought like you like they like having people there, so which is kind of why I thought, you know what, like Music Lab it's only sort of just round the corner. It's not too far to get to it. From I can walk round the Walton Street way. So I just thought, you know what, like if I just take my headphones and USB stick to Music Lab and then just go straight to the fair from Music Lab, I can be there sort of by 20 past 8, and I thought, yeah, I'll come and, because I love spinning the tunes on it as well, and the thing what I like about it as well is you've got people like queuing up for the ride and people coming on the ride, and they don't always realize that there's actually like a DJ playing, so they're hearing the music and they're sort of having a sort of like a little bit of a bounce to it, and and they're sort of like head bopping a bit, and then like it's like then they suddenly notice like there's a guy in there DJing, and it kind of like it almost like changes the whole vibe, and people are like smiling and laughing, and because when I'm behind the decks I'm always singing and dancing because it's just the type of person I am. I love the vibe and I love the music, and obviously I get right. People think it's an act and a gimmick. People think I just try, I just put on an act to be like that, but I do it at home. I can just have a mix to myself at home, and like I jump around and sing. I mean, I try not to jump around too much because these floors they can make a lot of noise. So I try to like limit myself on jumping around just for that reason. But I'm still like smiling and singing along and just having a good time, while I'm having a mix at home. And like I say, I don't just do it in front of a camera or like when I'm out somewhere. When I'm doing that, like I'm genuinely doing it because I've just got a love for music, and playing music is like literally, it's my favorite thing. I just love it. I always will. And I'm just in my own. I'm in the world where I want to be when I've got the music on. I love it. I feel like when I've got the music on and I'm bopping away, I feel like that's me. That's who I really am. You know, I just love it. Like I physically like love it that much that I wish I was physically a song. Like I think that I think that's like the whole vibe of it. It was but yeah, it was really good. So the vibe there is good. So like I say, I can't wait to be back and spinning some more tunes, of course. So we'll see what goes down. I'm obviously looking forward to the Gig Buddies night as well, because I'm spinning some like house tunes there, and it'll be a little bit different, and there'll be a chance for me to obviously, like show off. Oh, look at this gear I've got as well. But like if I was ever gonna take like because people say like, oh, don't take your equipment to events and stuff, but like if I was gonna do that, which I am, like I would do it to a Gig Buddies night, because like like Gig Buddies is probably like one of the most safest places like you could ever feel, and the vibe at the Wrecking Ball is just always a good vibe. So for me, it's like like they're like a second family, and they know that, and I've got nothing but love for them. So for me, like I've got no issues in taking equipment there. Whereas if some guy texts me and says, "Oh, you know, could I lend your decks to do a wedding or something, or lend your decks to do an house party or something?" I'd be like, "No chance, mate." You know, but like gig buddies, like I trust that, and obviously I think it's only going to be me that's using it, because I think the other DJs, they're going to use a Denon controller, and I could have used their Denon. Don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of like I don't like using little controllers that have a laptop. It's not like I can use them, and I've got no issues in using them. Like, you know, I don't struggle to use them. It's just I don't like them in a lot of sense. And like with the RX, like all my tunes are like analyzed, and I can sort my own folders out, and they just plug into the RX, and they read like within the folder order, and it's just kind of like I don't know, it's just kind of it's different, and it just kind of like creates a different, you know, like a different vibe. And you know, if I'd have like said like, all right, I'll use your controller, like I would have just filled up a USB stick without analyzing the tracks, and then not doing it that way, it just puts the tracks in alphabetical order, so it doesn't put them like in the order that you want to play them. And it just, you know, it's a lot more messier, and you're relying a lot more on like dragging and dropping um from the laptop and stuff itself. And I kind of just want to like plug my RX in, stick a stick in, and do everything on the RX. And it just, you know, I want to like properly like play. I want to properly play a set, to be completely truthful. You know, I want to properly spin some house tunes, and I want to properly beat match as well, and stuff like that. I don't want to kind of like just like drag and drop, and just, you know, and you know, so I kind of want to be like, hey, look, you know, when I DJ, you know, I can actually beat match, that kind of thing, you know. Whereas I think, you know, what the other DJs are going to do first is a little bit of maybe just like drag and drop, and just a little bit of like dragging and dropping some disco tunes in and stuff, which, don't get me wrong, you know, it'll all be good and enjoyable, but it's just not, you know, I like to properly beat match, and I like the proper, you know, where you've got to listen in your headphones, and, you know, you've got to move the pitch and stuff, and, you know, not just a little computer that just does everything for you. No offenses, but that's just me personally. Like, I just prefer to, you know, and a lot of people say, you know, there's always these big debates about the sync button and stuff, and people saying like, you know, why do people say that a sync button's not necessary, and, you know, and people like don't like people that say the sync button's cheating, and, you know, like, you know, what, you know, the sync buttons are a good feature and a good use and stuff like that. And to a degree, I do believe that the sync button is a good feature. But personally, I do kind of feel like it is cheating. I do kind of feel like a lot of people say like just move with the technology and move with the times, and people say like that, you know, like DJing isn't like it was back in the day, and it's not. But like people are telling people like to move with the times, and you know, like we don't. People are saying like we don't beat match on vinyl anymore. Like them days have gone. But I think like, yeah, all right, them days have gone, and we've got all this new like equipment coming in. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't still learn and know the old way of beat matching. You know, because like I don't know, if we kind of just like rely on the sync button, then we're kind of playing into the hands of like people who like hate on DJs and say DJs are just button pushers, and then technically we are, because if you just wait till the point where you need to bring the track in, and then you just press the sync button and bring it in, you know what, in a lot of sense, what are you actually doing as a DJ apart from pressing one button and then bringing a tune in and then bringing the other tune out, when even though like RXs and stuff like that, even though they've got sync buttons, like you can still, you can still beat match on them, and you can still move the jog wheel and try and get the beats in time, and I think that is that is what the art of DJing is, and that should, as amazing as it is that we get all this equipment that will do this, that, and the other, like, the art of DJing is beat matching. It's not putting effects on. And don't get me wrong, like James Hype and stuff, they can do some amazing things within their sets, and like I don't knock it, and they do loads of great looping with acapellas and things, and creating some like real good mixed blends. But like, can is the art of beat matching there? And there's people, like there's big DJs that play at big festivals, and they just play on a pre-recorded set, and that to me is just stupid, because there's people out there that maybe just DJ at home, but they can actually physically beat match, and they can put really good sets together, and they don't just rely on pressing a sync button or playing a pre-recorded set, and they're not just standing there trying to look good. They're actually standing there and doing what a DJ should be doing, and they don't get the recognition, and I hate to say it, like that there's a lot of like big and good female DJs out there, but they're only, no offenses, but they're only getting where they're getting because of looks, because they look good, because people can stare at their tits on camera, and because it's what people sort of, it's a marketing for what people want to see. Why put a specky nerd on who can beat match perfectly when you can put some girl on who looks fit, looks good, looks like a diva, will get crowd attention because of the way she looks, compared to someone who just looks like a nerd. But that's why things get messed up, and that's why I believe things are screwed up or fucked up, because that's the kind of world that we live in. Like everything's all like a making money scheme or a marketing scheme, and this is one thing that kind of annoys me, like about like having to look a certain way to be a DJ, like the fact that if you don't look like the typical guy with the short hair and the tattooed sleeve on his arms, and looks like he's somebody like off of like Ibiza Weekender or Love Island, then you don't meet the criteria to, because you don't look good when you look on stage, you don't get the bookings, but it should be about like how well you can DJ, like, can you put a good set together, can you keep the crowd entertained with music, if it's all about looks, go and join a fashion show. It should be about like, can the DJ sound good, can he put his own, can he put banging sets together, has he got his own edits and remixes that makes things interesting, and obviously makes things and people stand out, from obviously from the other DJ that was on before them. But we live in this world where you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way, and if you don't act with or look within that criteria, then you aren't classed as, you aren't classed as a DJ. And this is kind of like the sad thing about it, but I just try to ignore all that, and I keep it purely to the passion of my music, and I try and keep that to shine through, and people who are genuine, they'll book you, you'll get genuine bookings. But there we go. So anyway, that's going to do it for the stream anyway. Make sure to like, comment, share. I do apologise about the phone call, like halfway, well, like just some of the way through. But yeah, we'll see you soon.